Hello and welcome to what one man seriously hopes is the final fucking episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. This has quite frankly gone on long enough. I would now like to see the conclusion to this. When last we left off, we had got to the final boss, weird as he is, Necron, or whatever he's called. Although he might as well have been called Dave, for all it fucking mattered. We died because we didn't pay enough heed to Grand Cross. I don't know if there's anything we can do about the various... Oh yes, we needed to equip Shell, didn't we? No, take your time, game, please. Right, okay, so its abilities, it is, I think auto haste is entirely overrated in this case. We are much better off with Jelly, probably Insomniac. Okay, that seems to clear us against most stuff. You have still got level up and ability up on. Okay, that can come off. Jelly, High Tide is a candidate. Oh, actually, if you do, oh no, auto potion won't auto remedy, will it? That's not going to help us. This would actually cure stuff, so we'll do that. Auto regen I like. I think they probably do count as all of those. So. Right, okay. So we're going to have to lose something. I really like auto regen. I don't really want to lose it, but I haven't got much in the way of choice. We need that. 6. Cover. Take damage and damage. Let's try that. And you. Honestly, I don't know. Is health going to be the thing that makes the difference? Probably not, but whatever. Right, okay. Should we just get on with it? That's what that post was. Apparently he's coming. Sorry, we're not going to read this a second time. I blah blah blah. There's some sort of crystal. You know, he's gonna. It just doesn't matter. Like, this is a stupid boss fight as well. It's like, just give us the end boss. Let's send a trash fight beforehand. Again, it feels like inspired by Final Fantasy VII, but without understanding Final Fantasy VII. So we'll add 3 bosses, so we'll have 3 bosses in this as well. Right, what's this? This affects everyone. Right, okay, that feels somewhat unfair. So Meteor does random damage. So we may have lost this before it's begun. Yeah, okay, right. That's real. That really happened. Oh, how do you counter that? Oh, you don't counter it, no. You counter it by reloading. I'm so angry at that. Because it's just like, if you think that this is like the best Final Fantasy, like, what is wrong with you? Like, what did that achieve? Right, so I guess we'll go back, we'll go through all that inventory stuff again, and we'll save it, because now we remember that boss can just one-shot us. Well, two-shot us, I suppose. Like, somebody designed that. Somebody went like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Oh no, it's not a good idea, is it? It's a fucking terrible idea. Right, you have got level up. We want high tide, we want jelly. Fine. And we have to take that off you. And go jelly, insomniac. Yep. Okay. And on you we had to take that off, which is frustrating in and of itself. Oh, we need jelly, bright eyes. We don't need alert at this point, that can come off. And this chance bug killer can come off. So this is just a little bit short of that, and then we'll try insomnia. Right, okay, and then we'll save it again. This overly long thing on that. But honest to God, like, if you were writing a game and you just like, and you put a feature in, and it's like, oh yeah, there's a feature here which means that the person will automatically lose. Wait, what are you doing? Like, who the fuck wrote that spell? Like, somebody scripted it. Now we have to go through this fucking shit dialogue for a third time. Yes, shut up, I agree. No one fucking cares. Have a nice little pause between the two of you, why don't you? Okay. The other thing I would stress with this is any Final Fantasy IX fans are watching this and think I haven't given this a fair chance. I have pushed through the amount of times that I've wanted to quit this stupid game. Even now I'm tempted. Okay. Okay. Phoenix down on. Amarant's going down soon as well. Oh good, he's asleep. Right, okay. Oh, no, he's not asleep because Amarant's going to hit him. Right, okay. Sword art. What? Okay. That then. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do this via the medium of counter attacks. Okay, down with his dagger again. I mean, there's not really much point, is there? We're just... Yeah. Right. Oh, okay, cool. So, oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe it doesn't wake him up. Maybe it counts as magic, and sometimes magic attacks don't wake him up. Nope, that woke him up. Right, so it's over. Well, I guess. Where are my elixirs? Where are my elixirs? I'm not there. Where are my elixirs? Doesn't matter. Down we go again. I mean, that time, to be fair, like, I'm not going to moan on that one. Like, I got myself into a muddle with stuff. I need to not attack with Amaranth while we're waiting on Steiner. We need to try and sleep that guy wherever possible, and only attack if he's awake. But it does mean that we have to sit through this fucking thing again. This, by the way, from a playing point of view, not a game design point of view, it's just me as the player, this is what we call sunken cost fallacy. Like, I've put all these hours into the game, you know, it must be about to fucking pay out soon. But no, it was not about to pay out soon. As a child, I found the ending dissatisfying. Or unsatisfying, sorry. Unsatisfying, dissatisfying in that sense. I'm not really sure with that, to be honest. Anyway. Go on then, cast your bloody meteor. Right, okay, and so we'll wait for this. In fact, we might even be able to do look at this. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, she already cast it on the one who's already got regen. Right, okay, fine. Hey. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, fine, trance away. Right. Are you going to send that thing to sleep? Nope. Right, okay. Very good. Okay, well, first off I need to see what Steiner's going to do. Okay, that misses, that's good. Not asleep, okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is what it is. Defensive. Well, we managed to beat it, Kuja, via lucky random number generation. Good, I'm glad we got that money. That'll be useful. Right. Can we go back? Can we save? Sorry, I'm going to save in a new slot because it feels like this would be... Yeah. What? Why the fuck are you asking me yes, no? Right. Now of all times. Right, okay. Ability. Use cure. Right, fine. Item. Ether. Fine. It's not like we can take them with us. Yeah, you already said that. By all means, carry on. Lives through that, and that. No, it is not. Right, okay. Oh, you just get auto life, good. Yeah. Because fuck you, Amaranth. Right, okay. Well, maybe... I'm not really sure that that's going to help a lot. Okay, so unless Zidane dodges that, she doesn't. Phoenix down anytime? Yeah. Someone's going down again. Okay, cool. I think we go Elixir on Amaranth if he will wake up. Come on, Phoenix down, yep. Here's okay, fine. So everyone's kind of okay there, isn't it? This is annoying. No, mind you, it's not that annoying because he doesn't have the chops to deal with it. Right, DPS race. Okay. Well, now it's time to take on God. I'm actually going to go and get my t-shirt. Oh, it's not an auto thing, is it? Right, well, there'll be plenty of time to do this afterwards. And indeed during, apparently. Where is this? Yeah, where is this? Stand before the... Christ alive. Yeah, what the heck are you on about? Why are you telling me all this? What is the point in this game? Can we stop playing it, please? Yeah, okay. Blah, 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 fucking blah, right. Oh right, okay, good. We'll get to some last minute equipping. I don't think we have anything that protects us from status attacks, so it's kind of moot, really. Yeah, well, you say that. Have we come too far to lose? We certainly hadn't done last time. Right. In your own time again. Is it like a... I'll try to protect. Swords and knives. What does thievery do? Just out of interest. Okay. Okay. Right. White magic. Kiraga. Not as much as just hitting it. Okay. Right, fire. Okay. Cool. Right, okay, cool. So she gets trance, which means she'll get double white magic, so I might as well leave her to deal with Amaranth. It is somewhat unfortunate that A, he has gone down first, and B, that she got this without... Oh, well, it's just... It's all manner of shit. It's unfortunate this. Right, okay, Grand Cross. Is Dagger immune? That is the question. Oh, it doesn't look like she does get to... Oh, I guess her power's in her Eidolons. Alright. And now we hope for the best. Will the game be kind, or will the game go, no, I think you'll die, actually. Right, so... Okay. Right, first off, anointment yourself. I imagine you're going to die anyway, so there's not much point in that. Flare or a dagger. White magic. Kiraga, Amaranth. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we need another blue shockwave. Did life just miss? Maybe have a go and this time hit. Although that said, she might be in a loop now where... I mean, I don't really know what else I can do here. We'll try Steiner, see if this makes any difference. Okay, he got up. I think what we actually are going to do here, controversially, is I'm just going to have... Oh no. Alright, well. I think this is over again, isn't it? At least it allows it to regenerate a reasonable whack of health in the ridiculously long time it takes to fire out. Right, okay, so she seems to have made a getaway there. Flare aura oneself. Okay, if that's going for him, that's good. If it's going for everyone, that's bad. That's going for oh, right, okay. Okay, not quite sure what that's about. Difference, honestly. Very good. Not sure. What's this neutron ring? No. Oh, fuck, right, okay. Right, well. Just noticed that Amaranth's healing as well, isn't he? So Amaranth has a low chance of surviving this. Get one more healing? No, that's not likely. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, heal, 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 heal. No. Oh yes, he did. Okay, cool. Okay, that's good. We need to get anointment off her, but that is top priority. Okay, good, we've been given a lifeline here. Oh, so... Right, okay. Oh, I kind of need to attack with him. Problem is magic tag on him. Whether there's all of the problems going on here. Yeah, okay. Right, death, but auto life? Yeah, okay, good. Alright, feels slightly bullshit that, where is it? Oh, I can't fucking see! It's a fucking thing because of the colour scheme! Oh my god, right. Okay. Okay, that missed, which is like literally the greatest thing that could ever have happened. I think somebody said that Garnet wasn't viable. Do you know what, just Phoenix down, Steiner. White Magic, Curaga, Zidane. Flair, Aura, Steiner. Steiner attack. Elixir Steiner. White Magic, Curaga, Zidane. Flair, Aura, Zidane. Oh, Zidane's mini, does he? Okay. Notice that. I mean, as of right now, you might as well do that. Might as well not done that. Right, Amaranth, can you get enough health in the time in between to deal with this? We'll just wait with you. I don't think we can. So we're going down unless this misses. I haven't even got it. Oh dear, right, okay, that's a problem. Although she does have auto life, thank God. Right, who are you ordering? Right, White Magic, Kuragi yourself. Sure where the thing came from there, but whatever. Okay, well this is problematic, isn't it? If by some miracle you survive, do that. I need misses, people. A whole set of misses, and those aren't misses. Oh, Christ. Okay. How many of these? Just those two. Fuck. Bad news bears. There's the Phoenix Town. Find anything? No, you've got trance, so go for an attack. Life on you. Flare Aura on you. Fucking got zombie again. mind. I mean, you might as well do it on yourself if, you know, for all we know that it's going to be successful. Okay, well, he's curing himself, which is a good sign, isn't it? Fortunately... Oh, for fuck's sake, he had zombie! Steiner's dead, yeah, but... magic tag on, and then... Let's do it. Okay. A lot of damage, but... counter attack is nice. Just realised her MP situation is getting a little bit drastic. So I think firstly, we have to get rid of the anointment. There's no question of that. Magic there. Right, this is fine because we actually kind of want to use an elixir on her anyway. Get her MP back. Excuse me. Right. Is it down if you're not? Oh, you. Right, what's. I think. Oh, mini. Just fucking. I don't know. Using an elixir on her monks, I think. Flare aura on yourself, white magic, Huraga on Steiner. Just hit it. If you remedy yourself, does it remove mint? That's fine, we can out DPS that. Actually, might as well queue it. Well, you might as well take a hit in between. We can't out DPS this. Oh. Not bad. Okay, not too bad. To be honest with you, I might use Eidolons because if she gets double Eidolon, yeah. Oh, it does bring it back. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? We should also like heal quite a lot during the Eidolon section, so I think I'm up for that. it done? Is it done? Now, I'm not normally one for cutscenes and out-of-game graphics. Did we need to have this? Yeah, why are you doing this? Fucking... Yes, you are making a big mistake. Right, come on! Yeah, I know, I don't think it was a big thing. Like, even the fucking ending is just dragging on. Fuck's sake! I can't be that cycling anymore. I don't remember this bit, to be honest. I honestly thought the ending was... Yeah, well, I mean, thanks for commenting on your own cutscene. No, I don't have control. Sorry, I thought I might. I have control in the sense that, like, I have to press the buttons for it to proceed. I mean, you probably don't. Don't be rash enough to wish death on people or decide that like who should live or die. But you did try and destroy everything. Or you did try and take all existence. If there was a crime that was deserving of death, it was probably that. I don't know who translated this or who wrote it. Right. Okay. No, I don't think so. I have control over this. What are you talking about? Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I guess I can kind of get on board with that. Even though he did kill thousands of people and try to end all existence. That's Final Fantasy IX. So, it's an odd ending. It's odd because it's very drawn out, and it changes its sort of focus and its what's the word? It changes its style of delivery. Sometimes you're in these like battle sections, sometimes it's cutscenes, sometimes it's the classic epilogue. I'm a bit of a sap. There were a few bits in that which I thought were really quite good. For all my fucking frustrations with this game, I mean, there were parts of it where I wanted to scream. It's like, Jesus Christ, get on with it. But I think that last scene with Garnet and Zidane does the like incredibly slow pacing give that as a reward? I'm not being very clear here. Let me rephrase it. Is that there more of a reward in that cutscene because of the drawn out nature of the rest of the the rest of the ending? I'm going to try and keep talking over this song because, yeah, it sounds like a bad 70s Bond theme. I think that ending must be good because it feels good, and like that, if you go back in the video, I don't know, 40 minutes, and I'm just seething, and now it's sort of left. It's sort of like, oh yeah, it's quite nice. But I am a fucking sap for shit like this, so it's yeah. I'm firstly, it's I find it quite hard to like discuss this when we've got like music on. And I mean, if you've seen the Fallout 2 and Fallout 1 endings, it's a lot easier to speak when there's not lyrics going on. And it's not a good song, as I say. Yeah, but so it goes on and on. Melodies of life to the sky beyond the flying birds. Forever and all I should leave this lonely world behind. Your voice will still remember our melody. Although, to be fair to the singer, she's got, considering this was the 90s, I don't know, maybe she's like American Japanese or something, but like her L's and R's are really pretty cock on. I don't know how I feel about this now. Like that ending feels like it's oh cool, now we're on the Final Fantasy medley. It's also just quite like hard to concentrate with this shit being thrown out. So yeah, would that cutscene have been better if it was shorter? No, possibly not. Going back for Kuja is a choice. I think that's good. Like a lot of time for that last cutscene. Like, yeah. So it's over. I'm so fucking glad it's over. I don't know whether to do. I was thinking about doing like a separate sort of breakdown on this, and maybe I will do a brief one in relation to the tier list. And, is Final Fantasy IX a top tier RPG? No, it's not. And although it's lucky that it's sitting in, it's going to be subject to this analysis now, in a moment where I'm feeling good with it, because I very nearly stopped playing this episode. That Death Guy's meteor thing, where we just lost because random, is bad. The combat system, the pacing of the thing is excruciating, and even that ending, which I must admit I did like I don't know. I mean, I see what they're saying about the Kuja thing, but I think that, like, he's just not a I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't know. I still think the entire thing just needs to be like a lot faster. It's on, 4 discs, and it needs to be on 3 discs. Like there's not 4 discs worth of content here. I think that, like, if I was going to change this, like all the Final Fantasies are generally quite, slow-paced thing. They're from Final Fantasy VII, the first game on the PlayStation. Excuse me. Like the cinematics, the summons, lots of things tend to get like drawn out a bit. But I think this one is the most extreme. I think it is really quite slow. As I say, I like ATB as a system, but this isn't ATB. Because everything's so slow, it ends up just being turn-based with a veneer of ATB, which is not great. Character-wise, obviously, I've said before, I'd lose Quenna. I really don't. Even as a child, I was like, she doesn't belong in the world. Amaranth, you see, I think I talked about this at the time. The problem that you've got with the characters in the PlayStation games, PlayStation 1 games, is that you're used to having lots of characters to pick from in a kind of like, almost like a Fire Emblem way, where the characters are different classes. So if you play Final Fantasy VI, all the characters play differently. You know, like having different characters is like having different classes. I mean, it literally is having different classes. So if you were to have in Final Fantasy VI, I don't know, instead of, I think there's 9 player controlled characters. If you had 5, you'd be losing a lot of gameplay, and that's sort of carried into the PlayStation 1 games. To a lesser extent, PlayStation 2. Excuse me. Where there's like a gameplay need to have lots of characters. But from a storytelling perspective, like, Quenna is not necessary. In fact, I still think she gets in the way of the narrative. Someone said on the Reddit that the point is with Quenna that everybody else sort of changes and grows, but he is the one that is a constant against which other things can be measured. Which I think to be honest, you can still do that in much better ways than having that tongue chef monster thing. It just doesn't sit in with the world. There's no real room for Amaranth in the narrative. Like, he's just, there just isn't space, and he's, you know, it's just not he doesn't end up being a very well realised character. I think that's the consensus, opinion. I think that even fans of Final Fantasy IX generally say, no, not much room for him. I think Zidane, Garnet, and Vivi earned their keep. Vivi wasn't as good as I remembered. Like, the first time I played it, like, I was like, oh my god, Vivi. I even said, I think in the playthrough, that like the only good character is Vivi, but like, actually, Garnet's my favourite from this. Definitely. Steiner, I mean, firstly, I would remodel Steiner a little bit. I think he's leaning a little too heavily into comic relief. For me, I would do him a little bit more serious, both in terms of like his lines and his place in the story, but also just his actual facial animations, expression, and design. I think that could be. He looks and feels a bit weird in it. This is going to probably upset a lot of people. I think it's not that Beatrix is a bad character, but I just think that she's one narrative device too many. That I think that I probably wouldn't have included Beatrix. I would probably have merged the characters of Beatrix and Steiner into one character, that is to say Steiner. And I know that would take a lot of rewriting in the story. or we'd have had Beatrix, but it would have focused on her a lot less. She, right to the end, she's sort of behaving like she's a party member, and it's like you're kind of using up all the time that could have been spent, for instance, on Freya, who I thought was interesting, and Eiko. I think like she I know you've got the JRPG thing of like the, how old is she canonically? 6? That it's the anime thing, isn't it? Of no one tends to act exclusively their age. Everybody displays behaviours encompassing like a range of ages that sort of, I some people absolutely hate that, and I can understand why. I think I'm a bit more receptive to it. Like I can just sort of like okay, so this person is going to be 6 at some points and like 16 at others, as long as it's not obviously the creepy elephant in the room of that. But I don't think that's something that applies to Eiko. So yeah, I think more could possibly have been done there. I still think that, I don't know, the motivations to me for a lot of the characters are not terribly clear. I just think that whole like narrative could have been tied up more. Some of the storytelling in terms of Terra and like Garland and Kuja, it's like I don't know, maybe I'd have had more time for it if the other bits around it just paced a bit better. But I still just, found it to be a little bit hard to get on board with. Yeah. Am I glad it's over? Yes, I'm fucking glad it's over. Like, it has been a slog, and maybe like for all, like, I can focus on the like the minor points of this, the sort of the nitty gritty, but really the bigger problem with this is that just like I've just been getting through it. I think part of the thing with this, and like, I don't know who, maybe you as the viewer, I mean, like, you please comment on, don't worry about liking and subscribing, but like, if you've got feelings on this, comment, because like, my feeling with Final Fantasy IX is that it is a game that is best the first time through. Like, I think that I'm undecided whether Final Fantasy VII is best the first time through or the second time through. Like, it's really, really good both times. Because it's just like, it's just layered with foreshadowing and like things, your understanding of what's happening the second time around is just different. It feels like a different story. to a lesser extent that's true of Final Fantasy X, quite a lot lesser extent. But like 7, plays well the second time. 9 doesn't play well the second time. And like what I haven't had with this that maybe I would have had the first time, maybe a lot of people, players who are playing it for the first time have, which makes it feel better than it is a sense of like, oh, what's going to happen next? But because I know things like, the final boss, like there's not going to be any more new areas. Yeah. It's an odd quirk as well of Final Fantasy IX. Like, compared to 7 or even 10 really, and 10's like a bit of an odd duck when it comes to its world, because it doesn't have the same world map as this. It's got it's basically like a menu driven world map, which was a decision. I'm not sure it's the best decision, but it was a decision. The world in Final Fantasy IX feels small. I think that a lot of the places are they're either quite drawn out, like big places, like Lindblum and Alexandria, like they feel culturally homogenous, and kind of just sort of similar to navigate. Like Traino's got a feel. I like Traino. I don't necessarily love the fucking layout of Traino, but I like the overall feel of it. I like that it's always nighttime there. I think that gives it a feel. I like the City of Nobles. I like the fact that it's, you've got all these auction houses and card tournament things and all these mansions or whatever, and public, great big public buildings. I like that. Dali's okay. And then on the other continents, I think even before we get to the other continents, you've got Vermesia and you've got Clara. But, I mean, obviously Clara gets destroyed, so, but both Vermesia and Clara feel more like dungeons than they do towns, because that's what they are in the game. Which isn't, doesn't have a great feel. And then you've got something Conte, the Scotch village. Antonio Conte, is it? No, not it. Yeah, and which doesn't really land to me. I just it just doesn't feel. I suppose Black Mage Village is that's got a feel. And then Medine Seri and Estegaza are not really. They don't feel like part of the world. They feel just sort of isolated in themselves. The class system, which I loved going in, as I said, was like one of my favourite parts of this. It to me now, firstly, it forms a part of. It forms a part of the general grind to acquire abilities thing, which I'm not down like miss this and you'll miss, because like a lot of those things, like you might have been sort of sat here and watching earlier on in the playthrough and thinking like, well, why are you bothering to grind? Like, what's the, like, just if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But like, if we hadn't have grinded, for example, jelly rather, we'd probably not have been able to do that final boss. We'd have just been getting like stone cast on us all the time. It would have been yet another status effect that we couldn't have managed. So we have to like do those things in case we might later need them. Yeah. Also, it died out thankfully on the final disc, so I want to go back to it. There's another ATB in this, and it's not active time battle. It's the one you press the select key for, where you go and look at stuff from other people's viewpoints. Like, I don't think that earns its keep. I think that just like I think switching viewpoints is something that you really have to earn in an RPG. You can do it, and you should. If you're doing a story focused one, eventually you'll need to do it. But like doing that as like part of your primary sort of gameplay experience, because that does that. I mean, if you think about like the disc one, it's doing that constantly every time you go to a new place. And I suppose perhaps the idea was that it just because a character isn't somebody you would have in your party, you're still gonna, they still want you to have a feel for that character. But firstly, some of the characters aren't that good. Like the other thing with this as well, like in terms of the characters, when we talk about like screen time and that, like the theatre group get too much screen time, I think. Maybe you could argue that it's all for setting up the ending, but like I think it just gets messy with that. Like just generally, like a lot of the storytelling with this game is like quite ambitious, but like I just don't think it lands. The naming thing with Garnet/Dagger. Someone said on the Final Fantasy IX subreddit, so I was talking to them about this, and someone said that the whole point of the dagger thing, and why Zidane calls her dagger, is in like those private meetings, is because it's something that is defined for herself. Like it's something like she chooses that name. All her other responsibilities are put on her, so it's about her self-determinism, or if that's the word. Because of course, I think we've discussed it previously that like Garnet is the name assigned to her by the Queen and King of Alexandria when they find her. It's not her actual name, which it is in this game. Do I spoil? I mean, I suppose you've watched the entire playthrough. Close your ears now if you don't want to have this minor thing spoiled for her. But I'm pretty sure her actual name is Sarah, which is I can't remember where you find that information, but it's somewhere in like a hidden sort of cutscene. I guess if you go back to Medine Sari or something on disc 4, we didn't, and we're not going to. We're not playing after this ending screen. We are done. Lest there be any confusion over that point. But yeah. So the point in the narrative is that, like, yeah, while Stein is calling her princess and everyone else is calling her princess or queen or whatever, Zidane is the one who locks in on this name that she has given herself. Which, sure, that's an explanation. Is it a good storytelling device? No. Somebody else on the forums who's a huge fan of the game and was like, you know, sort of, I wouldn't say railing against my criticisms, but certainly trying to defend the game from them. And they were saying like, oh no, I just renamed the Garnet. Always have done. It's like, well, right, okay. You know, and I think that tells a story. Like, if you're writing games and you give the player a name, you give a character a name that like a sizable amount, because that now, so it turns out it wasn't just me. There's quite a few people who are renaming a Garnet. I think you've got problems there. You know, and I think that, like, if I think part of the problem is just the fact that that they go with dagger. Maybe dagger in Japanese, I don't know what the word dagger is in Japanese, but like maybe that has more of a naming, you know, sort of like maybe that is its own name in its right. Maybe it's an object that has like just like a people are called dagger. You know, maybe it's sort of the equivalent of like the British like lily. You know, something, or like a willow. You know, like maybe there's a name come from that, but because it doesn't land in English, like dagger is it's a bad English name to pick. If they'd have gone for like you know, if in that scene rather than the dagger, if she'd have literally picked up a lily and should have ran with the name Lily, how might that have landed? That would have landed much easier. But at that point, you're recoding things. You know, this is and indeed redrawing things for localization, which is really beyond the realms of what localizations should be. Just on a purely practical level. I mean, I just don't think redesigning sections of your game, especially adding things to localize, it just seems like you're really committed to the localization if you're doing that. But it might have worked better. As it was, yeah, it just doesn't land and just feels awkward. Yeah. It improves on disc, like, and again, something to think about in terms of like disc, not letting disc 3 and 4 get in the way of some of the problems that were on disc 1. Disc 1 and disc 2, disc 1 particularly, like just bouncing around. Like I'll never forgive that bit where we were rushing off to save the King of Bermesia with Zidane, Freya. Did we have Quenna at that point? I think we might have got her later. and Vivi, I think, was with us as well. And then it was actually, yeah. And then it just switches after we beat Gizamaluke. It just, it switches to Garnet and Steiner on that cable car ride. Just absolutely bricks the pace, and it's like you're fucking sabotaging your own damn game. Also, like to go onto the combat again, because the combat's a big, it's the primary gameplay loop. If you're not going to get the combat right, what are you going to get right? We talked about ATB not being used well, and it really being turn-based, which defeats the object of ATB. But I think, like, just generally, like, well, I mean, I suppose locked into that point, like, the speed of the combat, there's just so many additional animations. Trance is shit. Like, trance is something that I don't feel, look, at no point has trance felt like something particularly, like, it's just been another time sink that's got in the way. It just gives you a few turns of a damage boost for most people. Limit breaks fucking smash it out of the park. It's just real sluggish game. But that was the point I was going to make. The RNG. So, I think I've said it before, but like, Final Fantasy 9 has a lot more RNG than Final Fantasy 7. I think than Final Fantasy 6. I'm not quite sure on that one. And definitely than Final Fantasy 10. So there'll be, like, enemy attacks are not consistent in 9. That they are randomized to an extent. And I think that conceptually that's good. Because it makes it unpredictable. I mean, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses did this wonderfully, where, like, you can't have prescriptive tactics because it depends whether you hit or not, what you'll do next. You have to respond to your rolls. But you've also got to make sure that, like, your player control is is responsive to that, and the player can adapt to that. When I think about, like, the worst defender, and it just, like, it sums up the problems with the game has. The worst defender was the Death Guys fight. The second time we did it, at the start of this playthrough. Meteor doing random damage. It's just appalling design. Like, there's nothing good about a design system where there is unmitigatable death. I just, like, I mean, and we're talking, and as well, like, with the like, so with to take the Death Guys fight as an example, like, how I would recode that, like, so, like, fair enough, you want Meteor to do random damage and up to, like, 9999. You have to roll for that individually. So like, or rather not individually. You have to roll them in sequence. You can't have it so that it does. If it's going to do 999 damage, you can't have that happen to, you know, 3 party members and do a load of damage to the last one. There has to be some mechanism by which, like, one party member can survive. If it's just limitless death, and when I say survive, I mean survive enough to survive the next attack as well. And you might say, well, like, you know, what happened there was quite unlucky. You know, that didn't happen the first time we played, didn't happen the third time we played, it doesn't happen to most people. That was a low chance scenario. It should be a never scenario. You know, if you're leaving your game open to that, I think this is like, as well, it's like, it's something that you see it a bit more in Western RPGs, Western like strategy RPGs, where people have taken things from tabletop and, like, you know, even the original Baldur's Gate, like, you know, you can create a character with 3 hit points, and then, like, the opening enemies are attacking and doing, you know, 4 points of damage. And it's like, oh, it works fine in tabletop, so we'll just put it there literally. It's like, yeah, but in tabletop, you've got a DM helping you out. You know, RNG might not be on your side, but no, better to phrase it, but God is. The person controlling the world, like the fucking Deus Ex Machina, like, is there at all times to get you back on course if RNG just fucks you. But there is no such thing as that in this game, so you have to program systems that are going to give fair gameplay experiences. The other one, as well as Death Guys, the Ash fight. I just thought, like, you know, that death was a really savage death. You know, were we able to navigate that once we played a bit more sluggishly? Yeah, I guess. So, yeah. But then again, so let's, like, try and see, like, I'm gonna try and think about the positives from this. I guess I quite liked. I think this is the main thing with a lot of it is, like, there's lots of bits, like, if the pacing was sorted out. Like I was saying on the Reddit, like, if I was to edit this game, I think I could take away like 15% of the dialogue, and, like, nobody would notice. I'd like no fan of the game who really likes the story would notice that dialogue was missing. Like, because, like, it repeats, and, like, fucking the amount of times where, like, Zidane is saying, yeah, we should hurry. Yes, we should definitely hurry. Yes, if we'll need to hurry in order to catch. Well, just fucking move then. Don't fucking stand around talking about how you need to hurry. And there was also, like, I was looking back through all the original, like, the very first episode of this. I'll try and do, like, maybe I'll do, like, a review supercut of this. In episode 1, there's a bit where I think it's Blank who's doing it with him. Blank and Zidane are knocking out some guards and stealing their armour. And Blank's whining on and complaining. And Zidane's just like, this isn't very interesting, like, you don't need to tell me this. Who the fuck wrote that? we'll put in some redundant. It's just like that opening as well. I mean, the whole first disc really is a struggle, but that opening in Alexandria can absolutely fuck off. That is a painfully slow beginning that sets the tone for what is and has been a painfully slow game. Sorry, I was remembering. I was trying to be positive, wasn't I? I liked Garnet's past. I'm not quite sure that it benefits. Well, I liked the Medine Seri bit. I thought that was good. So that made me like quite sad. Some of the boss fights have been, I don't know if it's by virtue of them being unfair, but it felt like kind of dramatic. I really like, and I think they should have done more with it. I think it's one of the better ideas in Final Fantasy 9 is the eye in the sky, Garland ship. To me, I would have based the game around that. I think that's a fantastic piece of art design. I think it's really like it kind of it almost like I'm not quite sure. I'd have to sit down and think about how I would redo that, like, because I would want Garnet's memory of the eye in the sky to be the introduction. I probably wouldn't have had it at I think we first see it in Lindblom. I probably wouldn't have had it there, but I think it's a really like, I think that's a cool piece of art direction, and we like cool pieces of art direction. Alexandria having like that massive sword in the middle of it, I'm not quite as up on that, but whatever. I guess it's something. I like the Black Mage story. I don't think it's as good. I remember it being better than it is. Again, with Final Fantasy 9, like the Black Mage story, the genomes, Kuja, VV, it's all coming back to these stories of this existentialism, and I don't know. I don't think it's okay. I think you're better off with something like this, like punching in at something more relatable to the audience. I know this is going to sound really naff, and feel free to completely disagree with me on this one, but I think if you're punching for appeal in a game, for mass appeal in a video game JRPG aimed at 12 and up, I think like themes like not being able to tell people how you feel is gonna resonate more with your audience than themes of existentialism. I think existentialism is something. It's a pretty narrow thing. I mean, I'm not saying like that we haven't all thought about what it is to exist, But it isn't something that probably resonates with us in our day-to-day as much as, you know, as I say, just not being able to tell people how you feel. Like, which is actually, but by the way, that entire thing is, that's, the game sort of touches on that, and I think it touches on it in a kind of, to me it feels like a bit of a cynical way. Like, it knows that its audience will relate to that and kind of wants that. And it throws that into the Zidane-Garnett relationship. But I don't think that Zidane's a very good a very good vehicle for it. Like, I don't think he's introverted and sort of like navel gazing enough for that to really feel a part of his character. There's that, and the bit when he's in like the whatever it's called, Pandemonium, I think it is, where Garland lives. It doesn't. It just doesn't land. Like, one of the things that I think is like good about Cloud and Tidus, and as has been stated before, it will always be Tidus and never Tidus, is that like their personalities, like, sure, yeah, they arc, they turn corners and become more than they were at the start. But they sort of, it feels to me like they act in line with their personalities. Whereas a lot of these critical scenes with Zidane kind of fly in the face of that. I just, I'm not really sure on that. But as I say, like, when we talk about Zidane, you have to talk about him in the context of Cloud and Squall. And like, I think after Squall, they needed somebody who was different, who was more upbeat and practical and useful. I just don't think, you know, he's okay, but he, yeah, I think I prefer Tidus. I think like, yeah, Tidus has a character, and he's also got, like, again, I don't know, this is a thing on Final Fantasy 9 rather than Final Fantasy 10. But Tidus has got really fucking clear motivations through the entirety of Final Fantasy 10, and he's, you know, he's helping out with Yuna, Lulu, and Waka and Kamari's quest. But he's doing so, you know, in the hope to find answers to his own problem. Which is, yeah, it is. It just, that's helpful. Whereas like Zidane, so like they're kidnapping Garnet for money, although it gets one of their party members potentially killed. Although, I mean, that's another thing of like the tragic fate of Blank, who's just absolutely fine, you know. Yeah. I remember thinking, like, earlier on in the playthrough, like, what are the 5 high points of the game? This would have been when we were on, like, disc. So we just got onto disc 4, I think. And the 5 high points have been the Medine Sari boat section. I really did like that. That brought a tear to my eye. Getting out of Alexandria at the start, and the 3 change disc moments. And that's just really fucking damning. It's like, yes, finally we're making progress. Would all of those disc moments getting out of Alexandria is just so important. I might have lost one of the discs for the ending, but I do like that ending. I really like, I don't know if I said it with the ending, like how when she goes down through, like, the stairs, like, you follow her down a staircase that you've actually been down in game. That's something the game should do. That all games, if you're doing a cutscene, like, put that. And that might sound really obvious, but like the amount of times in this game, in 7, in 10, in all these games where the cutscenes exist in a kind of separate world to the movable world. I'm not really sure in the ending. Like to me, and your mileage may vary, I think when you do the final boss in a game, like, if that's the final challenge, so I'm going to put Fallout to one side, because the final challenge from Fallout 1, I suppose to a lesser extent Fallout 2, is to escape. You beat the boss and then you have to escape, and that's the final challenge because there's a timer. But when you've done that final challenge, it should be pad down, sit back. And for all I liked the ending, it was weird having done the final challenge and still being asked to press inputs to move conversation along. Yeah, I thought that was strange. I would not advise doing that. Yeah. It's just like in terms of this, the other thing with this, I mean, I was saying it about Fire Emblem Three Houses. Is it like this game has annoyed the piss out of me? Fire Emblem Three Houses, with its storytelling, has annoyed the fuck out of me over the years. But it has at times made me feel things. Like at the ending, I thought that it is one of the better cinematics in the Final Fantasy series. The Garnet running down at the end. I think that is earning a lot of it. Oh yeah, one other thing that a frustration and thing. Sorry, go back to moaning. It's you've got this class-based system, and what should happen in Kojama's game design masterclass, not that he's got any right to do a masterclass, but Mr. let's call it. In Kojama's game design masterclass, if you are going to have a story character-driven RPG, and you'll have it class-based, so you're balancing out your which classes to use, make it relevant who's in your party to the story. Final Fantasy IX doesn't do that. Final Fantasy VII does it. In Final Fantasy VII, there are hidden counters that increment based on who is in your party in various sections that affect story events. And the other thing, very basically, which I wish, so many, it would solve a lot of Nine's problems, honestly. Most of the time, the people who are reacting and responding to scenes are the people who are in your party. Like, if you go to I'm trying to think what a good example of this is. If you go to Gagonda with, this is the original Final Fantasy VII, of course, I'm not dealing with any more modern trash. If you go to Gagonda with Red and Barrett, the discussions about what's happening in Gagonda will be with Red and Barrett. They won't be with Ares and Tifa because you didn't bring them. They were off elsewhere. And the first thing with that is that, like, it means that things flow better. You've only got, when you've got 3 people there and they're speaking, it flows a fucking hell of a lot better than when you've got 9 people. You end up with these. It's really bad in Three Houses where like okay, now it's Mercedes' turn to speak. Now it's Ash's turn to speak. Now it's Dedeu's turn to speak. And like, people are just taking the turn. It doesn't feel conversational. Whereas if you've got 3 and people have varying lines, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but like Gagonda is really interesting if you take Ares and Tifa, and not so interesting if you take Red and Barrett. So having a class-based system would mean that you would have a trade-off there. Like, Barrett is, I would say, fairly uncontroversially, a better character in the party in Final Fantasy VII's, that section, the time you're around there, than Ares is. You'll go through combat easier with Barrett. But who knows what you might miss out on if you don't take Ares. And Final Fantasy VII has got these really soft class-based systems because it's got the materia. I mean, yeah, Barrett's got his gun arm, which is great, and Ares has got a rod, which is a lot less great. But you can switch in their abilities with, in and out with materia. So it was a really good opportunity to do that in 9, of like, have class systems, but be like, oh, I can't leave without Garnet, because what if Garnet's got some important line of dialogue? Or like, I think the first time I did it, I did loads of it with Vivi, because like, what if Vivi's got like a line of dialogue? But it doesn't make any difference because like everybody just rocks up in the cutscenes they're in. That happens from time to time in 7. Like some of the bigger ones, when you go to Calm and you have the flashback and so on, and obviously the Cosmo Candle and so on. But most like of your day to day are handled by the people in your party. So I think that's a missed opportunity. But again, I mean, you go back to the D tiers on that list, and like most of the time, the thing with the D tiers is like they didn't evoke. Like, I think Yahtzee was saying words to this extent, to like a similar extent to this, and like it's one responsibility of gaming is to make the player feel things. You should feel. I mean, it's true of really like any art. You should feel something. And Final Fantasy IX has at times made me feel sad and emotional, you know, and like there's it has got an emotional reaction out of me. But in those 50 hours, that has been so little of the time, and the rest of the time it should have been fun. It hasn't been fun. So, you know, first make your game fun. I'll dig up the list and we'll do like a mini thing on that, I think. What did you think as a viewer of this episode and the chat? I mean, by the way, statistically, you're probably not listening because most people don't get past the first 10 minutes. But if you were the person who watched this the entire way through, firstly, I salute you. What did you think? I'm really eager to hear this. As I say, if I were chasing the channel for money, then I would care about likes and subscribes. I like the conversational element about it. I like talking about these things, obviously, hence me rambling for the last 2 hours. Also, I don't know, have we mentioned the irony, by the way, of me moaning about this game's pacing while having like 3-hour-long videos where I talk for hours on end? I don't know. I think I need to get on Twitch or something with this because, yeah, I don't think that's... Maybe this would work a lot better with a chat. Yeah, what did you think of this game? What do you think of this game? What would your criticisms be? What lessons? I mean, that's the main thing of the channel, isn't it? What would you change? What RPG lessons do you learn from this? But yeah, the next thing, what will be next on the agenda? I think if we're doing those, I think I have to work through the RPG list, tier list, and get some of those higher entries that I'm unsure about done and down. And Knights of the Old Republic, it's in my sights. I don't think it's going to be a pad one. That I think it's going to have to be mouse and keys, which is not good for me and my exercise. But yeah. Well, I hope you've managed to glean some enjoyment from all this. Otherwise, I will say thank you very much for watching, and whatever we go to next, I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.